So greetings from the green swamp. I'm on my final deer hunt of the 21-22 season, and I'm ending it down here in the green swamp in Central Florida. I hunt this place at the end of the season every year because the season is extended over the whole month of January, and most of the other management areas are closed, but they allow this one to be open all the way. Like I said, the whole month of January. I like that. Came down here this morning. I'm happy to report there's not a whole lot of people in here hunting. The weather's cold. This is a great time to come down here and go hunting, okay? I just love this place, and I think the drive down here is probably the biggest challenge. Getting here, I can't believe the traffic that has developed in our area in such a short time. Used to be when I drove down here and you encountered a couple of vehicles, but now it's like rush hour traffic. But that's just the way it is. Can't do anything about that. I'm gonna start leaving the house a little earlier during spring gobbler season. Spring gobbler season's coming. I'm in that same spot today that I was in during spring gobbler season when I missed that turkey. I like this spot. It's not real easy to get to. I got another spot further down, but I forgot my snake boots this morning. I'm hunting in my tennis shoes. So I hope I don't shoot a deer and he runs off down through the swamp, or else I'm gonna be like Osceola. I'm gonna be walking around here with no shoes on. That would be okay. I could do that if I had to, I suppose. But I'm really enjoying this morning's hunt again. This is my last hunt. I won't be deer hunting again until September. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the green swamp. I want to talk a little bit about changes that I need to make to my hunting approach, my to-do list as far as changes that I need to make. There are 3 mistakes that I make that I can correct. And a lot of times, you don't realize these things until after you're set up. And one of the biggest mistakes that I make, and maybe you can relate to this too, is that I neglect to make note of the wind. And I get in my stand, I make an effort, bring my climbing stand in here, and I get set up, and I find that direction that I'm looking is downwind. I can see where the wind is blowing, and we don't give deer enough credit. We talk about it and we read articles about it, and we make efforts to try and minimize our impact as far as our scent control is concerned. But I can tell you that the scent control of a deer, the nose of a deer is just, you'll beat his eyes, you'll beat his ears, but you'll never beat his nose, okay? You need to hunt the wind, okay? And not rely on these products. If you use them if you want, but don't rely on them. Rely on a good wind. And I think I can almost point to every buck that I've ever killed, and I can remember that the wind was in my favor. And when the wind is in your favor, well, that gives you a better chance. I was at the boat ramp, I guess it was last week, and I was visiting a customer that lives near the boat ramp. I could hear people down there launching their boats. And without me realizing it, I was outside. I was probably at least 100, 150 yards away from the ramp. And I could smell outboard motor exhaust. It has a very unique smell. And if you spend a lot of time around outboard motors and boats, you'll recognize the smell. Well, if I can smell that smell and recognize it, how much more is a deer going to recognize human odor? Whether it be coffee breath or Old Spice or Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit sandwich, or the list goes on and on and on. He's going to smell it. And we know how many deer we see at the end of the day. What we don't know is how many deer we don't see. And right now the wind's supposed to be coming out of the north, but it's coming out of the southwest, cutting through this way, so it's kind of eliminating everything over here. I'll show you my setup here in a minute, but I set up because I know there are trails that come through here. If there's any deer coming down those trails, he's going to stop because he's going to smell me. I've got all of this over here that I can hunt. But that has just about been put. Now, if the wind was doing like it was supposed to be doing, straight out of the north, it'd be coming straight this way. And my trails, anything coming down these trails, yeah, that's a deer's nose. He's going to come down that trail. He's going to stop. He's going to turn and go the other way. And I never knew he was coming. That's the way it works, okay? That's a flight response. Many times they don't. It's not dramatic. They just turn around and go the other way. And right now I can feel that wind coming right down through there. Another mistake that I make, especially on quota hunts, is I find a spot that I want to hunt because the day before I go out and I scout it, right? And I usually find a place that I can't find my tree stand in the dark. Make it very difficult on myself. As a result, I impact the area. And squirrel down there. I impact the area and do more to damage my chances rather than help my chances. Okay? Because I put my tree stand in a place that I think is good, but I can't find it. I've almost stopped walking to my stand in the dark, especially if I don't know, if I'm not real familiar, if it doesn't go straight to my stand. Because I'm impacting that. And plus I hunt in bear country, right? And who wants to walk down a trail and then walk up on a 250-pound boar bear in the dark? Not me. And there's a good chance that bear is going to run off. He's not going to bother you. But he's going to impact that area with his flight response, okay? And I would just wait until it's breaking daylight, make my way to the stand, and hunt to the stand rather than trying to get there in the dark, okay, and not being able to find it, using a flashlight, making all kinds of racket. Yeah, I'm not doing that no more. I'm going to pay more attention to the wind. This is going to be my 22-23 resolution. I'm going to pay more attention to the wind. I'm going to try not to impact the area that I hunt. And once I get set up, I'm going to hunt that spot to the duration until I'm done hunting. A lot of guys, I'm pretty patient. I'm a real patient hunter. But a lot of guys, they get, and I've hunted with guys like this that get real impatient, and they kind of go from spot to spot. They don't give a spot a chance. You need to let things play out. I need to allow things to develop and my odds to go up. Because the minute my feet get on the ground, I honestly believe here in Florida, especially in a place like the Green Swamp or Ocala, killing a deer flat-footed on the ground, I think it's a pretty tall order. I've done it. My first deer in the Ocala National Forest, I killed wandering aimlessly. The deer wasn't wandering aimlessly. I was. And I killed that deer, and that was my first buck. But tree stand, or just seated in a spot where you can see and survey, is the greatest asset that we have, even if the wind is bad. You know, if you can turn your stand around and point it towards the wind, well, then you've solved that issue, right? So that's what I'm going to do starting in September, okay? We got spring gobbler season coming up, and with spring gobbler season coming up, we've got the Wild Turkey Extravaganza at True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be selling copies of my book, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. I encourage all you guys to come and visit and see the vendors that are there. That they make some of the most awesome turkey calls. I've got turkey calls that I've bought in a plastic package with a plastic striker. But if you buy a handmade box call from a craftsman who's a turkey hunter, or you buy a slate call, okay, from a guy that's a turkey hunter and he's custom made that slate call or that crystal call with a custom made striker, and he has run that call, and he knows the sounds that that call is supposed to make. That's going to be a huge advantage for you. I would encourage you to come down and learn a little bit from those guys. I'm just selling a book, but I just love to go just to see who's going to be there and who shows up, and it's just an exciting time. So it's in Webster, Florida. You're going to have to Google it, okay? Because I don't have the address or phone numbers, but it's there. It's the Wild Turkey Extravaganza at True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida, February 5th. That's this Saturday, okay? I think they're going to go all day. Oh, it's going to be a long day. Yeah, a long day in that. Those turkey callers, they're in there hitting those turkey calls all day long. It can be kind of nerve-wracking. I might quit turkey hunting by the time I get through there. And also locator calls. There are guys that make hoot owl calls that are just out of this world. I mean, handcrafted. Sure, you'll pay a little bit more for them, but locator calls are a large part of what a turkey hunter uses. Okay, so think about that. Come on down, visit. It's free. You don't have to pay a dime to get in. You don't have to pay a dime to park. I think they're going to have food vendors there, and it'll be a lot of fun. And come and visit, and I love to get to meet you and get to know you, and let's talk about hunting and fishing and the great outdoors, okay? So I'm probably into my third hour sitting here. I heard something rambling around behind me. I decided if I saw a hog today, I would shoot it. There were some hog tracks, and there was a big buck track up in the dirt, in the clay where I parked my truck. I got out of my truck, and the first thing I saw was a big old deer track, and I thought, look at that track, and it was in the mud, right? Because in this wildlife management area, it's very difficult to see tracks because of the habitat. But I looked down, there was a hog track there, and I looked at the deer track, and I thought it was a hog track. But then I looked again, I said, no, that's a hog track and a deer track. I mean, as soon as I got out of the truck, I said, that's got to be a good sign. So I made my way down here. Let me show you my setup here real quick. I got my GoPro hooked to the tree stand. I hope I don't drop it. Get it off there. There we go. All right, check this out. That's my area right there. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome spot, don't you think? So I'm here till 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna do a little walk around. I like it. I like coming here. The areas here that people are hunting, it's easy to know where people are, and it would be hard for you not to find a spot, especially during the weekday, to come and go hunting and do a little hog hunting, do a little deer hunting. If I kill me a big buck in this swamp, y'all will be the first to know. All right, I'll gladly post it on my Instagram page. I've got an Instagram page. I'll invite y'all to visit me on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you want to send me questions, any questions you want about hunting and fishing in Florida, I'm glad to answer those questions. That's petermupdike@gmail.com. And people message me on Facebook, and that's good too. I like that. It's okay. I'll talk to you. And so that just about wraps it up. We'll see you at the True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida, February 5th for the Wild Turkey Extravaganza. All right, love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.